Hey YouTube, look what I got. Yep, it's another Donner DED-200 Electronic Drum Kit. Now, I did a video on one of these about a year ago, and actually it's been quite a popular video of mine, but I didn't have space to keep that drum kit, so I got rid of it pretty shortly after doing the video, but I had a lot more questions afterwards of, you know, the MIDI connection and just all these various questions I keep getting about the set. And it just so happens, Donner reached out to me and asked me if I would like to do another video, and they would send me another kit. And the reason why they asked me to do this is actually they're going to have a crazy sale on these things coming up at the end of the month, or actually just in like a week or so. It's April 23rd. They're gonna have these drum sets on sale for $249, but it's only for like 3 hours. So there's a link down below, you can check that out. If you like the set and you wanna pick one up for really cheap, you'll be able to do so on the 23rd. And the details are in that link down below. Basically, it's gonna be, you'll have, they're gonna post like 200 sets at the beginning of each hour, 5, 6, and 7 o'clock. And it's gonna be first come, first serve, $249. And I think it's a really good deal, actually. I mean, even at $400, which is about, or 3 something is what these normally cost, they're a little bit cheaper than the Nitro. It's still a good deal. And at $249, it's actually a steal. But I'm gonna go ahead and set this thing up and just check a few things. I'm gonna do more with it this time than I did the last time. I have it here in my studio, and we'll see what I can do with this thing. So here we go. I'm not gonna show you the unboxing or setting up this time because I did that in the last video. If you wanna watch that, there's a link down below where you can check that out if you wanna see how to put it together and all that stuff. This one, I'm just gonna start setting it up now, and the next time you're gonna see, it's gonna be set up and we're gonna be playing with this thing. So I'm really excited. Here we go. All right, I've got it all set up, and yeah, looks pretty good. And yeah, pretty much having the same thoughts that I had before. Is the rack and the drums and cymbals and everything all are built really well. They're super solid, especially for a kit in this price range. You have a nice big bass drum pad there that can easily fit a double bass drum pedal. The toms are all 8-inch. They look a little, something might look bigger because I'm using a wide angle lens here, but they are 8-inch. And then the hi-hat is a, believe it, that looks like an 8. Is that an 8? No, that's a 10, sorry, a 10-inch hi-hat. Then we have 2 12-inch crash rides that are both dual zone and both chokeable. The snare is dual zone, and all the toms are single zone, and the kick, of course, is single zone. I have a decent feeling hi-hat pedal, and the bass drum pedal I'm not super crazy about, but it works. I'm gonna put a different pedal on here in a second, but first I wanted to give you guys some playing examples of the built-in sounds. Now the module is easily the weakest part of this whole kit, and I mentioned that before too. It's just not very good. But, you know, it's okay. I guess, you know, it is what it is, and if these things are going to be on sale for $249, you can't expect like an amazing sounding module, but it works. And one thing though, they give you a cable. Let me show you here. They give you this cable to plug the module into an external sound device. But as you can see, this is a TRS like tip ring sleeve type cable, stereo cable, but very few audio interfaces have stereo inputs. As you can see here, I have, you know, a 4-input audio interface that has 4 individual mono inputs. So my solution to this was to use this splitter. I have a splitter cable here plugged into the output TRS connection that's going into my audio interface. Now, I don't even know if this thing is truly stereo, but I wanted to have both signals going to the recording while I was recording it, just so you guys could hear it, how it should really sound. Now, I wish they would give a different cable, but, you know, whatever. It's a cable. So, again, $250. Okay, I'll shut up now. Let's play a little bit, and I'm going to give you guys some of the built-in kits. All right, now let's have a little bit of fun with this thing. So I disconnected the audio device, and I just have MIDI hooked up now. I put on my double bass drum pedal, and I'm going to pop open EZDrummer here. So let's see what we can do with EZDrummer and some double bass action. Okay, so that test was a medium success, I think. It works, and one good thing that I wanted to show you guys, actually, that in the past, and I apologize for the drummer next door, he just seems to like to hit his bass drums only over and over again. But anyway, so this, I want to show you guys the MIDI track here, because there was a problem on the first generation of these DED-200s where MIDI note off signals weren't being sent, which caused some problems with some people using the device. But as you can see, MIDI note offs are being sent now. I think you can see that, yeah. And you can see all the individual little notes there. So that means that there are MIDI off notes, MIDI off signals coming. But one of the things, though, that I noticed, the USB connection, at least for me on a MacBook Pro from 2015, is pretty slow. I'm actually getting quite a bit of latency. So, and I had the lowest I could set my buffer was 512 to make it playable. Anything lower than that, I'm getting glitches as far as sound goes. Now, of course, you could put EZDrummer on there after you play and just record using the built-in sounds as like a placeholder and then replace them with EZDrummer. And also, you might get a better result on a faster computer. Like I said, this one's a little bit old. But I do get a faster result when I use my MIDI cable out of my TD6 plugged directly into my module. So, and I can use that as like completely playable live on the same computer. So, just wanted to mention that. Dude, seriously, play something else. Come on, man. Just bass drum, bass drum, bass drum over and over again. Anyway, okay, so I also wanted to mention that the bass drum tower doesn't track super well when I start going really fast on the bass drums. And I can't go like super fast, but I noticed when I was trying to do certain triplet things that I normally do on my kit at home, it was having trouble keeping up with me. Now, I don't know if that has to do with the actual pad itself or maybe just the way that the module is translating the MIDI, but we're going to find out because I have one more test that I'm going to do with this thing, and we'll see basically how much is the pads and how much is the actual module. So what I'm going to do is this. Alright, I just came home to finish up the video and give you guys my final thoughts. It was pretty loud over at my studio, so I thought it'd be better to do this part of the video here. But overall, it's pretty much like I thought originally, whereas the drum set itself is fairly decent, especially given the price point, but the module is not so great. The module really seems to be the main source of all the kit's problems. If you noticed, when I hooked up the TD-17 module, everything tracked nearly perfectly. So the pads themselves are actually all really good. The rack is great at the price point, especially if you buy one of these kits during this sale. I think it is absolutely worth it. If you're just, if you're buying one for your child or somebody who's just starting out on the drums, even with the module that comes with it, it's still good enough to practice and to learn on. And if that's all you're getting it for, that's totally fine. And plus, the USB output does seem to work as expected now. There's no, like, sustaining MIDI notes going on or anything like that, so the MIDI note off function is working. The latency may have been due to my computer, I'm not really sure. However, the MIDI output does seem to function as expected, like I said. So that's actually a really good thing. I'm glad that Donner was able to fix that. And that makes it pretty worth it right there, too, if you want to just record some EZDrummer or things like that to use a VST as your module. It'll definitely get the job done. You could, like I said, you could listen to the built-in sounds while you're recording for reference and then put EZDrummer on there afterwards if you want to get a more high-polished sound for your recording. So that's something you could totally do with this kit. And at $250, that's a really, really good bargain. So like I said, there's going to be a link down below if you want to pick one of these up during their flash sale. I'm not getting any money for this review. They did give me the kit for free. So, basically, these are my honest thoughts on this drum set. There's nothing really in it for me if you buy one of these or not. One of the things I noticed, too, is when I hooked up my TD-17, the hi-hat pedal did not function with the TD-17 module. It doesn't seem to be compatible. I'm not exactly sure why. I even tried messing with some of the settings, and basically it just wouldn't do anything on the TD-17 module at all. Everything else worked just fine. So you could, if you wanted to buy one of these and plan on using a different module, maybe just don't be surprised if the hi-hat pedal doesn't work, but you can always pick up, like a Roland FD7 or FD8 or something like that to use for your hi-hat controller. It's also pretty nice that both cymbals come with the spin stoppers. Basically, they're like Roland-style spin stoppers. They're exactly the same, honestly, and underneath the cymbal, there's kind of like a V-shaped indent, and then it sits on top of this spin stopper, so when you're playing the drums and hitting the cymbals, they don't spin around when you're trying to hit them. So that's actually a really nice feature, too. For $250, you're not going to find anything even remotely close to this drum set, having dual zone cymbals, chokeable dual zone cymbals, dual zone snare, and then a pretty nice drum rack that goes up really high, and a big mesh bass drum pad. All of those are very, very good selling points, and overall, I think it's worth the money. I'm not totally sure what I'm going to be doing with this drum set. I might take it apart and use some of the parts on one of my custom kits. I'm kind of thinking that I might want to use the rack and combine that with the E-Star drum set that I put together, the acoustic set that I made into an electronic, and maybe I'll kind of combine some of the parts of the two and kind of have, I don't know, I have some ideas that I might do with it. But, I just think it's a pretty good deal. So anyway, I thought I would share, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. Click that bell icon so you get notified every time I upload new content. Also, be sure to follow me on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you stream your music. I'm on everything. Demonic Sweaters, there's some links down below, and just click on one of those and you can follow me there. And once again, thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these videos, and especially if you made it to the end. Anyway, I'll see you guys really soon. Take care.